Hi, I was working on the banner for one of my clients when I discovered this little technique I wasn't aware of before, and I would like to share it with you. Basically, I made this Illustrator layout for the banner, and I used some stock photo, and I made this little crown to make it a little unique. And my idea was that when it turns into a banner, this crown should be rotating. Kind of like in 3D, but maintaining the look. And I didn't know how to do it. I was already considering making it, just drawing it by hand. When I discovered this, I made it. I modeled the crown inside of the Cinema 4D. I made a loop animation, just a very simple and short one. And I used this sketch and tune material that you can find here in a shader sketch material. And this one is usually used to simulate like cartoon effects. But what it also does, it introduces the sketch and tune effect in the render settings. And there's a bunch of things you can play with to get the look you're going for. But what's important is that it also gives you an option to export your animation or graphics as Illustrator file. If you didn't have the sketch material active, you would just get an error message at this point, but I have it active, so I'll just call this temp for the tutorial purposes. And here you can play with the settings. I unchecked layers because then it would give you all the sub layers inside the Illustrator, which I didn't want for have it simpler. Keep connections on, otherwise it will export individual segments on individual layers. I didn't want the surfaces exported, so I unchecked that. It will only render the lines that you can see in the viewport that you selected. I chose export to layers, otherwise you would get a whole bunch of files, 15 of them in my case, because I want to render the 15 frames, and click OK. And now if I go to Illustrator, open, I have the temp file here that we just exported. Import, and there is our crown in form of vector shape. You can see there are all the other frames exported here as well, slowly rotating just as we want it. The shape is a little too divided for my taste, so I choose simplify. You can play with the amount of simplification here. I just use the automatic function. I do the same for all of them. Simplify, pink. And I also wanted to make it a bit thicker to match closely my original design. And now you can do is go to export as and choose SWF file for Flash export. And if you check the Adobe Illustrator layers to SWF frames, there's a bunch of other options. Click OK, and if you go back to Animate, choose Import to Library. There is our temp WSF that we just created, and there we go. Now you can test the animation, and we have SWF crown just ready to be used in the banner. Thank you for watching, and I hope you will find this useful.